Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah. Al-Hadith al-Tasi'a Ashara, the 19th Hadith. Al-Tasi'a Ashara, 19. Abil Abbas, Abil Abbas, Abdullah ibn Abbas. قال كنت خلف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يوما فقال يا غلام إني أعلمك كلمات احفظ الله يحفظك احفظ الله تجده تجاهك. This hadith, we'll start there, is from Abil Abbas. Abu became Abi after An. And Abul Abbas, mudaf ilay. Abdi is a badal for Abi. We could just say An Abdullah. And this is mudaf ilay. Right? Ibn, a badal for Abd, which is a badal for Abu. We could just say An Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma, because Abdullah and Abbas were both Muslims, so we say Huma for both of them. Qala, right? Kuntu khalf al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Kuntu, I was. Kana yakunu, kana kuntu. I was khalfa. Khalfa is behind. Like the word khalifa, because he comes after. Right? So it's behind. Right? Khalf al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. It's a dharf al-makan. A dharf, an adverb saying where he was. So he was behind the Prophet. It makes the word after it mudaf ilay. Dharf mudaf ilay majroor. Khalf al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Yawman. Yawman, kind of like that the yawm from the hadith of Umar radiallahu anhu and the hadith of Jibreel. That the yawm. Yawman. I was behind the Prophet a day. One day. فقال, so he said, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Ya ghulam, Ya ghulam, Ya harf nida, a particle of calling. We say, oh, you're trying to get their attention. Ghulam. Ghulam is a young man. A young man, maybe just reached the age of puberty, maybe not quite reached the age of puberty. We're talking about 11, 12, 13, somewhere in there. Inni, huh?
So it's like a figure old young man. It's
Yeah, oh young man.
I thought you were saying like some did that be up now? But I thought you were talking about, it was gonna be somebody specific, but I guess.
Yeah, he's talking to Ibn Abbas, but he's telling him.
I got you.
No, it's not his name. No.
Yeah.
No. Ghulam is here in Kuwait, that brother, right? They don't make fun of him, but they use his name sometimes when they say like Ya Ghulam, and they're not talking about Abu Salah's cousin, right? because there's a young guy here named Ghulam, right? But Ya Ghulam, Inni u'allimuka. Inni u'allimuka, from allama yu'allimu. U'allimu, allimu here is I teach, or I will teach, however, like this. I am teaching. But as we said, there's three types of verbs in Arabic: past, present, and command. But where do we get the future? Well, the future and the past and the present are the same form. They're the exact same verb. You're just going to know from the context, right? Is it talking about the past, the present or the future? So here he says, Inni u'allimuka. Verily I am teaching you, or verily I will teach you. Verily I will teach you here, right? Kalimat, some words. I'm going to teach you some words, right? And kalimat is mansub, because I'm going to teach you. Here's another example of two maf'ulun bihis. Two maf'ulun bihis, right? Zubair is not here. I'm going to teach who? I'm going to teach you, right? I'm going to teach you what? I'm going to teach you kalimat. It's mansub, maf'ulun bihi, but when that form, feminine, plural, becomes feminine sound plural, when it becomes mansub, it becomes mansub with kasras. So we say, for instance, Muslimun. We say Musliman. We say Muslimin. That's the singular male. Then we say Muslimuna, right? Muslimina, Muslimina. It's the same one. When the male sound plural is mansub, it's the same, right? Muslimina, Muslimin, it's the same. Same thing goes for the feminine. If we say Muslima tun, Muslima 10. We don't have to have our alif that we have here. Why? Because the ta marbuta is capable of carrying the tanween without the alif. Only the tanween, only the ta marbuta and the hamza can carry fatatain or kasratain, or we'll say fatatain rather, fatatain without the alif. Every other letter besides these two, when you have mansub fatatain, you need the alif. And then we have muslimatin, right? Muslimatin. Okay, now when you go to plural, you got muslimat. You say tun, no problem. But when you get to the mansub and the majrur, they're the same. 10. Right? So here we have kalimat, and Zubair came in the room just in time to see this. That u'allimuka kalimat. I'm going to teach you words, some words. It's just plural and it's indefinite. So some words. I'm going to teach you words or some words. So here, this is the maf'ulun bihi al-awwal. He's the one, he's teaching him. And kalimat is the second maf'ulun bihi. Now, I looked for it for a while. I didn't find a lot on it. But I found a phrase. I didn't even find it. It came to me. I don't even know if I could find it from the person, but I'm going to see if I can pull it up real quick. And I'll read it to you in Arabic. Otherwise, I'll just tell you what it is in English. But somebody had come to one of the Salaf, right? And he said, how come and the one he went to was a grammarian, right? The one he went to was a grammarian. I'm trying to find the exact narration here. Okay. No, that's not it. I can't find it right this second. Anyway, he said, how come a man can have more than one wife, but the woman can only have one husband? So he's a grammarian. So he said, the maf'ulun bihi can only have one fa'il, but the fa'il can have many maf'ulun bihis. So he answered the question. He said that the fa'il, the maf'ulun bihi, the object can only have one doer, but the doer can have many objects, right? So, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Anyway, here's an example of two maf'ulun bihis, u'allimuka kalimat. Then he says, ihfadillah. This kasra here is for reading purposes. Ihfad. He is telling them to preserve, right? To preserve. The word hifd is not only to memorize, but it's also to preserve. And when you memorize something, you preserve it, right? Ihfadillah, as we said, this is, so when it's a command, this is a sukoon normally, but because this lam here has a sukoon on it, the first of them, then you gotta have something in there for reading purposes. Ihfadillah, protect Allah, preserve Allah. Yahfadak, right? Now yahfad again is majzoom, has a sukoon on it. Yahfadka, right? But that's not how we usually say yahfadak, and we stop here. So if we stop here and we put a sukoon there in our pronunciation, we're going to have something on this va. So you'll hear people say ihfadallah yahfadak. They'll put a vowel, yahfadak or yahfadik, probably a fatha, just because they stop on that kaf. But if they continue, right, then they will say it as is written here, yahfadka, right, yahfadka. Ihfadillah, Allah, He will preserve you. He will preserve or protect you. You protect Allah, He'll protect you. And then we'll go over that in a minute. Ihfadillah, again, this is a command, and this kasra here is for reading purposes. Ihfadillah tajidhu tujahak. Tajidhu tujahak. This, the reason for this first sukoon on yahfadak or yahfadka is because this is the answer to a shart. This is like a condition. If you protect Allah, He'll protect you. So in that condition, your verb yahfadka is going to be majzoom. As we had some things are, when we talk about shart, right? We said, if you come to Kuwait, you will stay with me, right? This type of thing. If you protect Allah, He'll protect you. And then it will make two things majzoom. This one is majzoom because of that, right? Ihfadillah, protect Allah. Tajidhu, again, that's the same thing. This, you find this sukoon here. You don't say tajiduhu, right? Tajiduhu, you say tajidhu because it's the answer to the shart. If you protect Allah, the condition. If you protect Allah, you will find Him. Tajiduhu. Wajada yajidu. You will find Him. Tujahak. Tujaha is the same as amam. Amam. Right? Meaning in front of. From wajh. Waw, jim, ha. Like to face something. If you face something, it's in front of you. Right? Tujahak. Right? In front of you. It's a dharf of zaman, or a dharf of makan, a place, the adverb of where something is, like this. So anyway, the sentence means, Ya ghulam inni u'allimuka kalimat, O young man, I'm going to teach you some words. Ihfadillah, protect Allah. يحفظك, he'll protect you. احفظ الله, protect Allah. تجده تجاهك, find him in front of you. It doesn't mean, how do you protect Allah? By protecting his religion, by protecting his halal and haram. That's what it means. Allah ala kulli shayin qadir. Allah is powerful on everything. He doesn't need any protection for himself. Rather, he's talking about protect his religion, protect the limits that he has set for you, and he will protect you. Protect his religion, protect the halal and haram, do what he said, do the things that he commanded, and stay away from what he forbade, and he'll protect you. Any questions about this part so far?
No.
إذا سألت فاسأل الله. Either if or when. سألت, you asked, right? You asked. Here it has the meaning of present tense though. If you ask, فاسأل الله, and it's a command. فاسأل, فاسأل, اسأل. Without the fa, it would be is'al, because of this fatha on the third letter, right? We have 1, 2, 3. The third one has a fatha, and if it's a fatha or kasra, it's going to be a kasra. But because of the fa, we just say fas'al, fas'alillah, and this kasra there on the lam is for reading purposes. Ask Allah. If you ask, ask Allah, or then ask Allah. وَإِذَا اسْتَعَنْتَ فَاسْتَعِنْ بِاللَّهِ. And if you sought help from aun, right? Ain waw noon. Nasta'inu. Iyaka nasta'inu. Same word. Idha sta'anta. If you seek help, right? Fasta'in billah. Then seek help billah, from Allah, or with Allah. Questions about that?
Is there still the shart wal al-jawab format as well?
Well, no, fasta'in here is a command. These are commands. It should be a command. We said this kasra is for reading purposes. Fas'al. Fas'al Allah. Then ask Allah. Right? وَإِذَا اسْتَعَنْتَ. And if you ask, فَاسْتَعِنْ بِاللَّهِ. Now you could make it like that because it is like a conditional sentence, but here it's a command. Fasta'in, then seek, or then seek help from Allah. So it's a command here. Fasta'in, ista'in, right? So I see where you're asking that, but here it's actually a command and it's not the jawab or sharta like this. Then he goes on. Wa'lam, and know, like we have in Thalathatul Usul and Nawaqid al-Islam. Wa'lam anna al-ummata, that the ummah, the nation, the whole group of people, right? Law ijtama'at. And again, this law should have a sukoon on it, but because we're reading, you have a sukoon on our jeem. Law ijtama'at. We put this kasra there for reading purposes. Law ijtama'at, from jeem, mim, ain, from jama'a. Ijtama'a meaning to gather together. And al-ummah. Law ijtama'at. If the ummah gathered together. Ala, upon. An yanfa'uka. Upon that yanfa'uka, meaning yanfa' from noon fa'ain. Nafa' meaning benefit. Yanfa'uka, that it's going to benefit you. If the ummah gather together to benefit you. Shay'in, with something, with anything. Lam yanfa'uka, right? Here it should be yanfa'unaka with a noon here. But because of the n, it becomes mansoob and we drop it. Yanfa'uka bi shay'in. Walam yanfa'uka, here it should be yanfa'unaka. but because of the lam, it becomes majzoom. So we treat it the same. We drop the noon. Lam yanfa'uka, they will not benefit you. Illa bishay'in, except with something. Qad katabahu Allahu lak. Qad here is a tahqiq, meaning like something in reality, so like a confirmation, except for something katabahu Allah, that Allah wrote it, laka, for you. So the translation is, know that if the ummah gathered to benefit you in something, it couldn't benefit you except in what Allah had wrote it for you, basically already, right? What Allah had already written for you. وَإِنِ اجْتَمَعُوا, and if they gathered. وَإِنِ اجْتَمَعُوا, and if they gathered. Here we're not talking about the ummah necessarily, we're talking about the nas, the people. اجْتَمَعُوا, because it's in the plural. وَإِنِ اجْتَمَعُوا, this kasra here for reading purposes, right? Should be وَإِن اجْتَمَعُوا, but there's a sukoon here and a sukoon here. We have to either get rid of something or put a connecting sound. وَإِنِ اجْتَمَعُوا عَلَى أَنْ يَضُرُّكَ بِشَيْءٍ, يَضُرُّونَكَ should be a noon, same thing. And it makes it mansoob, we drop our noon. أَنْ يَضُرُّكَ, we know this word, we just had it. La darar wa la dirar. La darar wa la dirar. No harming. Darar is harm. If they gather together to harm you, bishay'in, with something. Lam yadurrunaka. Again, this noon is dropped because of the lam, making it majzoom. Right? Lam yadurrunaka illa bishay'in قَدْ كَتَبَهُ اللَّهُ عَلَيْكَ, except for something that Allah has written upon you. See here is lak, for you. Nafa'a lak, benefit for you. Right? Yadurru alayk, right? To have some type of harm done on you, like towards you. Right? Rufiyat. He says, Rufiyat al-qalam, or does it say aqlam rather, right? Aqlam, naam, al-aqlam, asif. Al-aqlam. Says al-aqlam, which is the plural of qalam, pen. Rufiyat is majhul, passive, of rafa'a, meaning to lift, right? To raf' al-yadayn, to raise your hands with the takbir, right? Rafa'a, rufi'at al-aqlam, the pens have been lifted, right? وَجَفَّتِ الصُّحُفُ, وَجَفَّتِ and this again should be a sukoon here, as we'll see in a second. As-suhuf. As-suhuf. Okay, here, wajaffa comes from jim fa, meaning to be dry, right? To be dry. Wajaffat as-suhuf, this kasra is for reading purposes, right? As-suhuf is the papers. So we're saying, Rufiyat al-aqlam, the pens have been lifted, wajaffat al-suhuf, that the pages have dried, meaning what Allah has written has been written a long time ago. The pens have stopped writing, and the paper has dried, meaning you're not able to erase that ink anymore, right? That ink is dry, it's permanent, right? Meaning, if the ummah gathered to help you, they couldn't accept illa bishay'in qad katabahu Allahu lak. And if they gathered to harm you, lam yadurruka illa bishay'in qad katabahu Allahu alayk. Any questions?
What is the root again for Jaffat?
Jaffat should have a sukoon on it, on the ta. Not should, but normally it has a sukoon on it. Jaffat, because it's female singular, past tense. Jaffat, like qalat, jalasat. But because a suhuf, right, has this first sod here, has a sukoon on it, and the ta has a sukoon on it, we put this kasra there for reading purposes.
You said the root is Jim Fa.
Jim fa, nam, jaffa. Jaffa. Yeah, like something which is dry, like your skin could be, and maybe I'm just thinking about it, it could come from English. Your skin is jaff, like it's, chapped, is dry, right? So jaff is jaff, it's dry. So the weather could be dry versus here, like here the weather is jaff. It's jaff, it's dry. Whereas in America, a lot of times there's ratuba, right? Ratuba, meaning humidity. Whereas here there's not very much humidity. It's jaff for the air. The air is dry. Or, like I said, jaff, right? Mujaffif al-sha'r is hair dryer, right? Jaffaf is, you could describe something like you order a steak and it's dry, it's not juicy, it's jaffaf, right? It's jaffaf, it's dry, like this. And it could be the same word as chafe, or what is it? How do you say it in English? Chafed, I don't know. Anything else? Yeah, Juan, anything else?
No.
Okay.
Oh, no. It was something I was going to ask you about the lao up at the top. You still pronounce it lao when it's lawij?
You're going to say lawij, yes.
Okay, lawij, but because you said lawij.
Yeah, lawij, because it's really low.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Lawij. No.
Lawij.
You're not going to change, just because you're adding that thing there. It's still a diphthong, meaning it's going to be low instead of lat, like that. Okay, Rawahu at-Tirmidhi. Tirmidhi narrated it. وَقَالَ حَدِيثٌ حَسَنٌ صَحِيح. And he said it's a hadith which is Hasan Sahih. وَفِي رِوَايَةِ غَيْرِ التِّرْمِذِي. And in the narration other than at-Tirmidhi, it says, احفظ الله تجده أمامك. In the first hadith we had تجاهك, right? تجاهك أمامك. It's the same meaning, right? تعرف إلى الله في الرخاء يعرفك في الشدة. Here we have this conditional thing going on here, right? احفظ الله, protect Allah, He'll protect, if you'll find Him in front of you. But here we have ta'arraf, right, being majzoom, and ya'rifka being majzoom, right? This is because it's conditional. Ta'arraf from ayn ra fa, meaning, and this is form 5, meaning to become familiar, to get acquainted with. Illallah, to do this with Allah. Illallah, become familiar with Allah. Fi rakha. Rakha, you can look it up. Ra kha waw or ra kha ya. Either way, you'll find it, right? And it means in times of ease, in times when there's nothing going on, in times when things are lazy, times, easy, slow, laid back times. Ta'arraf ilallah fi rakha. Get to know Allah, get familiar with Allah in times of ease. Ya'rifka, He will know you. Ya'rifka, He will know you. It's the answer. This is the answer. If you do that, He'll do this. The answer to this first condition. Ya'rifka fi shidda. He will know you in shidda, in difficulty, in extreme times, when things aren't laid back. Wa'lam, and know, anna, that, ma is what? Akhta'aka. Akhta'aka, this is form 4 of khata'a, right? We know this maybe as mistake, right? But khata'a and akhta, they're mistakes. But like if I'm aiming at the target and my arrow goes over here, akhtat, I made a mistake. I did not hit the mark. I did not hit the mark. I missed. So when you make a mistake, it's like you missed something. So you got to figure out how you're going to translate it, because it means both. You missed something. You missed doing the right thing. You missed doing what you were supposed to do. You made a mistake. Ma akhta'aka, what misses you? Lam yakun liyusibaka. This is just lam yakunu, originally was yakunu, but because of the lam it became majzoom. We have a sukun on the waw and the noon. We drop our weak letter and become yakun. Right? Liyusibuka is from sad waw ba, and we have that as sawab, which is correct. To be correct. Like akhta is to be mistaken, and it means to miss. Yusibuka means to hit you. So when I aim at the target and I hit right there, right, I hit it, I was correct, right? I didn't miss. So annama akhta'aka, what misses you or what missed you, lam yakun liyusibaka, would not have hit you. Whatever misses you would never basically have hit you. It wasn't going to hit you no matter what, because Allah didn't write it. We're talking about the qadr here. The same thing here as if the ummah gathered together to help you or to harm you. أَنَّمَا أَخْطَأَكَ لَمْ يَكُنْ لِيُصِيبَكَ, would not have hit you. وَمَا أَصَابَكَ, and what hit you, لَمْ يَكُنْ لِيُخْتِئَكَ, was not going to miss you. Whatever misses you wasn't going to hit you, or whoever hit you was never going to miss you. No matter what you did, wasn't going to miss you. وَاعْلَمْ أَنَّ النَّصْرَ مَعَ الصَّبْرِ. النَّصْرَ مَعَ الصَّبْرِ. The help, nasr is help or victory, either one, but here means help. Ma'a sabr is with patience. وَأَنَّ الْفَرَجَ faraja means an opening, right? An opening, or we could say well, ma al-qarb. Al-qarb is like trouble or worries or any difficulty that you're in. Al-faraj, the opening. Ma al-qarb, you could translate it as the opening is with the trouble, or I can't really think of a good word for it. It's in my head. Like the lifting of the difficulty, the lifting, the ease. This is basically, as we'll see the next phrase. وَأَنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا, and that with al-usr, difficulty, yusra is ease, right? With the usr is yusr. With the difficulty is ease, meaning that with every difficulty there comes an ease, and with every karb, every trouble, there comes this faraj, this opening, this way out, right? If you're trapped in something and you get a faraj, then that's a way out for you. That's an opening. That's a way out for you of that trouble. So, an-Nasra ma sabr, that help comes with victory, comes with patience. Wa al-Faraj ma al-Karab, and that this opening, this way out, comes from al-Karab, or comes with the difficulty. I mean, it has it. Every difficulty, every trouble has its own way out. You just have to wait for it. It's going to come. Wa ana ma'al usri yusra, and with every difficulty there is an ease. Any questions? طيب. طيب. 1 second here. And then Abdullah, read it for us, inshallah.
Inshallah. And Abdul Abbas, Abdullah ibn Abbasin radiyallahu anhuma qal kuntu خلف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يوما فقال يا غلام إني أعلمك كلمة احفظ الله يحفظك احفظ الله يجده تجده تجاهك إذا سألت فاسأل الله وإذا استأنك أنت فاستعن بالله واعلم أن الأمة لو اجتمعت على أن ينفعوك بشيء لم ينفعوك إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله لك فإن
I didn't say anything.
فإن اجتمعوا على أن يضروك بشيء لم يضروك إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله عليك رفعت الأقلام وجفت الصحف رواه الترمذي وقال حديث حسن صحيح وفي رواية غير الترمذي إثبات الله تجده أمامك تعرف إلى الله في الرخاء رفقة في شدة واعلم أن ما أخطأك لم يكن ليصيبك وما أصابك لم يكن ليخطئك واعلم أن النصر مع الصبر وأن الفرج مع الكرب وأن مع العسر يسرا.
عسر مع العسر يسرا.
وأن مع العسر يسرا.
نعم. Same thing from Surah Al-Inshirah. Abba Tahir, Surah Al-Sharh.
عن أبي العباس عبد الله بن عباس رضي الله عنهما قال كنت خلف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يوما فقال يا غلام إني أعلمك كلمات احفظ الله يحفظك احفظ الله تجده تجاهك إذا سألت فاسأل الله وإذا استعنت فاستعن بالله واعلم أن الأمة لو اجتمعت على أن ينفعك بشيء لم ينفعك إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله لك وإن اجتمعوا على أن يضروك بشيء لم يضروك إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله عليك رفعت الأقلام وجفت الصحف. رواه الترمذي وقال حديث حسن صحيح. وفي رواية غير الترمذي احفظ الله تجده أمامك تعرف إلى الله في رقاء يعرفك في الشدة واعلم أن ما أقطعك لم يكن ليصيبك وما أصابك لم يكن ليقطعك واعلم أن النصر مع الصبر وأن الفرج مع الكرب وأن مع العسر يسرا.
نعم يا زبير معنا.
Can you hear me?
نعم.
عن أبي العباس عبد الله بن عباس رضي الله عنهما قال كنت خلف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يوما فقال يا غلام إني أعلمك كلمات احفظ الله يحفظك احفظ الله تجده تجاهك إذا سألت فاسأل الله وإذا استعنت فاستعن بالله واعلم أن الأمة لو اجتمعت على أن ينفعك بشيء لم ينفعك إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله لك وإن اجتمعوا على أن يضروك بشيء لم يضروك إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله عليك رفعت الأقلام وجفت الصحف. رواه الترمذي وقال حديث حسن صحيح. وفي رواية غير الترمذي احفظ الله تجده أمامك تعرف إلى الله في الرخاء يعرفك في الشدة. واعلم أن ما أخطأك لم يكن ليصيبك وما أصابك لم يكن ليخطئك واعلم أن النصر مع الصبر وأن الفرج مع الكرب وأن مع العسر يسرا.
I found that phrase. It says سئل الزمخشري العالم في اللغة العربية, that a Zamakhshari, a scholar in the Arabic language, was asked لماذا يجوز للرجل أن يتزوج بأكثر من امرأة? Why is it permissible for a man to marry more than one woman? ولا تجوز للمرأة الزواج بأكثر من رجل واحد في نفس الوقت. And it is not permissible for a woman to marry more than one man at one time, or at the same time. فأجاب الزمخشري بقاعدة نحوية. So he answered with in Arabic, basically a grammar rule or principle. قال, he said, يجوز تعدد المفعول به في اللغة العربية. It's permissible to have a number of مفعول بهs in the Arabic language. ولا يتعدد الفاعل. And fa'il is not you're not able to have more than one, right? So it's just a small little joke after, inshallah ta'ala, about having more than one maf'ul bihi.
I have a question.
Okay.
About the award here. I was out of the class for a second. The difference, I don't know if you mentioned anything between al-karb and al-usr.
The difference between what?
Karb and usr.
I don't know.
Is there, did you translate it? Is it both hardship? I don't know. I don't need to know really the difference. How did you translate karb?
I probably translated both difficulty or hardship or something. Let's see what they did here inside of this book here. Huh? Let's see what they did here. Hold on. We'll give them
and faraj is the same as fath, is it, or?
Faraj is the same. It's close to that now.
Okay.
Yeah. So it says. Relief comes after distress, and certainly with difficulty comes ease. Karb is, it means any difficulty. It's in the hadith where whoever helps his brother in times of difficulty, they use the word karb. You know what I mean? Then Allah will help him. So, I don't know the difference, but we'll look it up, inshallah ta'ala. What's the difference between karb and usr? Allah knows best.
Okay. Jazakallahu khaira.
But yeah, faraj means opening, and faraj means opening, right? With a fatah on the ra. You want to make sure you put that fatah on the ra. Like there's a scholar, Ibn al-Jawzi, is called Abul Faraj, with a fatah on the ra. If you put a sukoon on the ra, then it's the opening of the woman, right? Farj with a sukoon on the ra is the opening of the woman, whereas faraj is an opening, right? A relief, like that, right? Whereas the other one is the woman's opening, right? So make sure you say it right.
Gotcha.
You want to say Abu Farj. That doesn't sound too good, right? Al-Hadith al-Ishrun, the 20th Hadith. Let me add a few minutes here, just 5 minutes here, just make sure. We should get it quickly though, inshallah. If I can add it quickly. عن أبي مسعود عقبة ابن عمرو الأنصاري البدري رضي الله عنه قال. On the authority of Abu Mas'ud, right? And we know Abu became Abi after An Mas'ud Mudaf Mudaf Ilay, therefore it's Majroor. Uqbata An Uqbata, Uqba has this ta marbuta, so it's mamnu min as-sarf, doesn't take kasr or tanween, so it's majroor with a fatha. Ibn is a badal for this. Uqba is a badal for Abu, right? A substitute. So, an Abi Masud, an Uqba, an Ibn Amr. Amr is mudaf ilayh, majroor. Al-Ansari, meaning from the Ansar. Al-Badri, those who participate in Badr, right? Now, I don't know particularly right now. Sometimes it could be he's from the place of Badr and he didn't participate in Badr. I don't know if that's his case right here or not. Sometimes you find that, right? They're called Al-Badri because they're from that place. Badr is called Badr because that's where the war took place, at Al-Badr. So if you live there, then maybe are born there, then you're from there, and you're called Al-Badri, even if you accepted Islam, say after that, right? And it doesn't say here inside the footnote here, right? Oh, it says in the translation, from among those who fought in the Badr campaign, but I would still want to verify that, but hopefully that's what it says in the Fawzan's translation, right? Radiallahu anhu qala, he said, Qala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Inna mimma adraka an-nasu min kalam an-nabuwwati al-ula idha lam tastahyi fasna' ma shit. Rawah al-Bukhari. Inna, verily, mimma, from what? Adraka, from adraka, but form 4, meaning to reach or to come upon. Mimma adraka an-nasu, from what the people have come upon, have reached. Min kalam an-nabuwwa, from the speech, from the kalam an-nabuwwa, meaning the speech of the prophethood. Al-ula, meaning the first prophethood, meaning the previous prophets here. The first here, meaning the previous, right? The previous prophets, the previous prophethood, right? Meaning it's still, the people today have adraka hadha kalam, meaning they have reached it, meaning it has reached them, that this speech is still going around. Inna mimma adraka an-nasu, what the people have reached, min kalam an-nabuwwat al-ula, from the first prophetic speech, from the earlier speech of the prophets. Either if or when, lam tastahyi, if you, and lam here we know is a negating particle, right? Tastahyi, meaning from haya, meaning to be shy. Haya, to be shy, right? Tastahyi, if you're not shy, fasna, from sad noon ayn, meaning to make something or to do something, right? Sana'a is to make something, to do an action, right? To make something. Fasna ma shit, then do what? Ma shit, what you want, right? What you want, from like the word sha'a, right? You will look that up, sheen, ya, hamza, right? Just like the word shay. But sha'a is the verb to want or to do something, like masha'Allah, insha'Allah, right? Shitta, here is sha'a, like insha'Allah, that means what he willed. Shitta means you will. So, either lam tastahyi fasna ma shit, if you're not shy, do what you want, right? And the scholars say this has a meaning of a khabar, and it has a meaning of insha'a. It has a meaning of if a person is not shy, then they will do whatever they want to do, right? That's information. It's not telling us to do anything, right? If you're not shy, then do what you want. You don't have any shyness, you're going to do what you want. And it also has the sense of insha'i, which means that it's a request from you. It's something that Allah wants from you, or the messenger wants from you. Meaning, if you're not shy about it, then it's okay for you to do it. If you're a person who has modesty and shyness and you are not shy about this, then do it. So it has that sense as well. If you're not shy, you're going to do what you want. It don't matter. You're going to do whatever. Haram, halal, bid'ah, sunnah, doesn't matter to you. You're going to do what you want. And it has the meaning of, if you're not shy, then do it. No problem. It's permissible because, you know, you're not shy about it, and the believer is shy about disobeying Allah and so forth. So if you're not shy about this action, then go ahead and do it. There's no problem. It has both meanings. Allahu Alam. Any questions? Yalla ya Zubair.
عن أبي مسعود عقبة بن عمرو الأنصاري البدري رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن مما أدرك الناس من كلام النبوة الأولى إذا لم تستحي فاصنع ما شئت رواه البخاري.
نعم يلا أبا طاهر.
عن أبي مسعود عقبة بن عمرو الأنصاري البدري رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن مما أدرك الناس من كلام النبوة الأولى إذا لم تستحي فاصنع ما شئت رواه البخاري.
نعم يلا عبد الله.
عن أبي مسعود عقبة بن عمرو والأنصاري البدري رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن مما أدرك الناس من كلام النبوة الأولى إذا لم تستحي فاصنع ما شئت رواه البخاري.
نعم. Bye fikum. Sorry for going over a few minutes. Inshallah ta'ala. Just a reminder, we'll have class all week this week until Wednesday night, you guys' time, and then from that point on, there will be no more classes until April, inshallah ta'ala. So we'll have class all week long, inshallah, as normal, but then at the end of this week, for 3 weeks, we'll have off, inshallah ta'ala. Jazakumullahu khairan. I'll see you brothers and sisters tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.